Okay, hi, hello, and welcome back to Creativerse with Brian J. Me. Um, going to be doing two streams tonight. The first stream is just a quick look around. You see this? I don't know. Can you see my mouse? I'm not sure if it comes out on the stream or the video, but yes, we are jumping into the creative. There you go. You can see my mouse now. And we're going to jump into the YouTuberverse. I hope the audio levels are okay. They look all right on my little thing. Do let me know in chat if and when you turn up. Because, yeah, feedback is good. What we're going to be doing as soon as it loads, let's actually go to our. There we go. Stick me down there. Now you can see what's going on, can't you? Right. So yes, the last time we were in the YouTuberverse, we had a little look at the White Hutch. It's a facsimile of the White House, obviously, as you can tell. But yes, those of you that saw episode 1, this is what's called an old template world. It goes back to the dawning of 2015. And yeah, we're missing biomes and all sorts. So I recreated it in the YouTuberverse. Or rather the YouTuberverse, which let's go over to my worlds, is over here. Yes, that gaudy ceiling tells you what you're in for. So yes, hopefully we will connect in. I've noticed that the game is a little bit iffy sometimes, joining consecutive worlds. Ah, there we go. As long as that comes up, number of players and how many's online, then yeah, it's usually good to go. Let's have a mug full of, slug from my mug, because it wouldn't be, would it? Wouldn't be a Brian J video. So here we are. Let's just let the. Oh, hey, Pigsy. Let's just let this thing load. As you can see, we've started to make a little bit of headway on the front here. But all of that sits outside the blueprint. Here is the White Hutch recreated in a new template world. So yes, when we look at the map, we have got all of the biomes, we've got all of the new stuff. And yeah, if we can go out, we can see this is the various bits of the world that are explored so far. I'm not going to get into that too much in this video, because this video is going to accompany a blueprint of this building here. I'm just going to give you a quick tour. There you see the original thing and rebuilt August. So yeah, it's taken me 2 or 3 weeks to rebuild this. Oh, look, door's locked. Wouldn't you know it? Ah, magically. What? Mike would like a word. What's going on? Ooh, I like that beam. Emoluments. Okay. And something's growling. What's this? Fake news interception. Okay, alright. So, yes, this takes us into the main corridor, and as you can see... Oh, what's this? Oh, Mike is out. Okay, well, fair enough. Yeah, so, down this end here... Oh, somebody's left the window open, look. Oh, well, never mind. Down here, as you can see, we've got various pictures to indicate various ambassador offices. As you can see, all the doors are self-closing. But yeah, these rooms aren't being used currently by myself. But I suppose you could use them for, I don't know, separating out your pets or whatever, if you were to pick this and use it as a base. What's this? Genuine fake news. Oh, this must be the press office. Oh, there's nobody in here. Nice ceiling. Even though I do say so myself. The place is kitted out with fireplaces, and as you may remember from the original model in the early world, yeah, Mike is out. Nice floor. So yes, while we're in here, there is a little switch here that toggles Mike's status. Mike is in, and Mike is out. I'll leave it on Mike is out, otherwise he'll know we've been in there. So yes, so that's that. Down the end here, we've got the gaudiest ceiling in the world, which seems appropriate for a Trump-esque function room, complete with throne at the end for the head of the table. There is a switch here that allows you to switch between the house lights and the more cozy setting. But yeah, the wiring is dead easy to figure out. Literally, all you have is the switch connecting. Let's turn the connections on. The switch connects and turns on all of the things. It also goes to a an inverter, which is actually over here, and that turns off the other ones. But yeah, I'm sure you can figure all that out for yourself. Likewise with the doors, you've got a sensor under the door. Let's turn that off because that's confusing. You've got a sensor under the door that opens the door and closes it. I've left interaction on here so that you can open it up, go through, and it just closes behind you. But that's entirely up to you how you wire that. All of the doors have a sensor, so you can either put them in, leave them out, entirely up to you. Moving on, we've got the Oval Office. This is still to be done with furniture and stuff. I will try and get that into the blueprint before I publish it. And maybe a couple of other rooms as well. That's another ceiling that I did. Okay, so while we're here, let's just quickly go upstairs. Most of these rooms are unused, and I've left the decor fairly bland, so that you can. These are just slabs, so you can. So you can fit them in with slabs of your choosing, really, if you want to put a different ceiling in and what have you. Same with all of these, really. So I've just sort of done some random patterns and things on the ceilings, which obviously you're free to change. As I said, most of them are slabs, just to make a little extra light come through. And as I said, most of the rooms are empty. Yeah, this is just a plain wood ceiling. I started running out of ideas. Obviously, the same goes with the carpets and the floors. If you want to change this, you can. Same with the ceilings, another fireplace. The bathroom has got a walk-in bath with mineral water. Obviously, I've given it this decoration. You can decorate it or even repurpose it entirely as you choose. So So yeah, that's all of that going on. There's various bookshelves dotted around that you can use for storage of things, you know, handy suit of armor, stuff like that. And all the way up here, see, because there's nobody around at... Ah, here they are. They're all up in the disco. Okay. The disco is a little bit more complicated as far as the wiring goes. Basically, you've got a little time loop thing going on here, and a little time loop thing going on here, flipping between numbers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 going on and off, and all of the bulbs and the 1970s disco floor as well are all fired by light 1, light 2, light 3 and light 4. If you haven't seen the earlier video that I did, or one of my earlier videos, I will do another video later, basically talking about substituting sensible variables for things. But yeah, so flip this switch, give it a second, and yes, it turns into a functioning discotheque, complete with, as I said, pseudo-random disco floor. And yes, there is a bar. Obviously I've got a troll, but you can have whoever you want serving, and what have you. Special Agent Cooper, yeah, he's just making sure there's no gate crashes, I guess. So yeah, so that's going on here, upstairs, right at the top of the building. Get out of the way, you. And as you can see, we've made some changes out there and down there as well from the original, but it is more or less the same. I wondered about tying these into the fireplaces, because there happens to be 16 fireplaces, just like the 16 chimney pots. But I haven't yet figured out a way of wiring the logic up to automatically detect when a fire goes on. I will figure it out at some point, but for now, yeah, it's just manual operation on those. Now, let's get down to the interesting part, which is all down in the cellar. As I said, this is ostensibly modelled on the White House, but that's the exterior. The interior, as you can see down in the cellar, is quite significantly different. I have designed this thing to be a functioning base. So you've got bank of forges, bank of processors. Over there you've got a cook station. You've got all the different waters over here. Down here in the coal cellar, there is all the doings for a perpetual diamond and coal pit, which is fed by phasers and a layer of tar here. Switch that on, and it should, yeah, fill up with tar, and there are, or should be, some iron railings that come in here to stop you from accidentally walking in like that. Not working. I will have to find out why. So yeah, you switch the thing on. I'm going to switch it off for the moment so that you can see what's going on. Just let that drain. And yeah, you walk into here and throw your bombs and either teleport or use the teleporter to get out, and away you go. Switch that off, and yeah. Down here, to prevent the spread of corruption. Yeah, I know, isn't the irony wonderful? We have got the corruption water away from the others. This was intended to be a lava fountain, but I haven't figured it out yet. I want to try and avoid just getting lumps of hardened lava up there. So I'm still working on that. There is a mechanism there that gets you out the coal cellars. That should be easy enough to wire up. There is under here, under the stairs, a secret area. It doesn't really matter if you see the code, because the chests in here are also access protected. Obviously you can set those up as you see fit. Any number other than the correct code closes it. This system just basically sends the number to a number comparator. If it's the right code, it opens it up. If it isn't, it doesn't. Simple as that. We got the same thing happening here as well. Yeah, and put in the correct code to open it again. I'm going to leave those closed for the moment because then they'll be in the blueprint. We have here a teleport area. Obviously you can use this for teleporters or adventures. It's entirely up to you. But I've set it up with a bank of those and 3 of those. There's only one that's active at the moment anyway, and that's not published active because I'm still figuring out how these work. So far I've just managed to get into a copy of the world and not be able to do any things. Here is the teleport rooms NASA launcher. That was the last video that I did. We've got an implementation in here, and we still have the prototype down here in the NASA research lab. That's not actually space anyway, but yes. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn that. Well, it's lucky. Oh, look who it is. Ooh, nah, I'll leave him. So yeah, this is obviously for doing things in. That little sound you heard is my son over on Discord. Aha, it worked. Last time I came round here, I've got a little experiment going on in here with phasered bees. So far it seems to work. You put down your bee, stick it in a phaser, and then when it comes time to harvest, you just phase it out like regular farms. The regular farms are down here, by the way. Standard phaser setup. You've got what? Why is this fallow? What? What has happened here? Okay, let's sort this out. One of the things that I have discovered with odd glitches in the game is particularly disappearing nodes, things like that, is if you come out of the game and go back in as soon as you discover it, the chances are it will cure itself. And I think this is because we joined elsewhere. Anyway, I'm still working on this out. Hopefully the seeds will be back. No. Okay, so some of it did. Some of it came back. Okay, and it's okay, so I had an experiment going on here as well. I fertilized these 4. And they seem to have come back. So anyway, we have more seeds, so I can finish that up. let me just see what it is my son wants. Oh, okay, all right. He's just letting me know that he's making some noodles. So he's going to be joining us later. Something else of interest. These here are, as you may surmise, arc things, and the positioning is done with various offsets to make them sit where they are. We've got them in a few places, over there in the West Wing, Organic Center, here for the processing area, here as well, geology, and the interesting one on these chests. And these chests. Now, if you're curious as to how that's done, I'll just show you that. Briefly, it's done in the following way. You stick it under the square that is your floor tile. You give it an offset of 1.7, a Z offset of 0.32, and a size of 0.8, whatever color you want. The actual lettering size is 0.8. Then you change the size to 2.5, put in 3 carriage returns, size it up to 0.8, put in your next one, size it to 2.5, 3 carriage returns, and so on, all the way down to the end. And that will give you this arrangement here. Took me a while to get the spacings right, but there it is, and that's the basic doings of it. More or less the same thing for the stone chests. I believe the Z offset is slightly different. Yeah, the Z offset is 0.38, and the offset is 1.75. So yeah, other than that, it is exactly the same. If you haven't got anything in your chest, as I haven't in a couple of spots, as long as you haven't got any text above it, you should be fine, because I've noticed it takes the offset from the bottom line and then shoves everything upwards. So if you've got anything written up here, let's say, and then you've got a couple of gaps, then you will have to put a space in. Yeah, so if you have little bits of weirdness going on, that's what's happening there. In fact, let me see if I can show you one. Yeah, here we go, here's one. So if we go to here, we'll see that on the bottom one here, we've got a space. And that's purely and simply so that it's got a character. As I said, it starts from the bottom, so it puts a character in and then shoves the rest up. If you don't have the character in there, it all drops down the line, and yeah, it looks squiffy. So that's a little something to take notice of. While we're here, variables. As you can see, I've enabled all of these arc signs with something, a little holder called chest tags. Now that enables you, while you're setting these up, to just pop that in, and then when you're shoving it into the switch, I have mine under here. All you have to do is, which one is it? Chest signage. All you have to do is, oh, I've got this inverted. That sends an output to this inverter, because I wanted it to default to on, so the switch turns them off. So the switch sends just a regular click output, as you can see by this, and then it inverts it and sends out chest tags. So yeah, that's what's going on there. So that's that. What else is there? Oh yes, round the side here we've got probably enough storage for an entire community. There's nothing in that. Nothing in these currently, and I haven't allocated them, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Let me just get a glug of tea down my throat. Whew. Yeah, there's one or two little lighting glitches, but if you just switch a light on and off, that usually gets most of them. I'm kind of annoyed at my farm doing what it just did. This takes you out to the back door, one of the back doors, which, as you can see, is new from last time. So we've started working on the front here. The template will probably bring you to about this sort of line here. I've got peaceful mobs on at the moment, so nothing to worry about from the Miru. So yeah, that's basically that. The other new addition here is down this side here, which sort of goes down into this. This little switch is a little work in progress set of beacons. You won't have to worry about those. Those won't be in the blueprint when it goes up. But basically it's just helping me map out a couple of chest spawners, which I'm thinking of putting underneath here. Try and make the most of the full 63 height, without throwing in too much dirt and rock and what have you. Which brings us to this. Let's switch the light on and go in. This. Oh, that only gives us a second. That's just the way I've programmed it up. You can program yours up however you want. So I'm just going to open it up permanently. Do this light again. It's a lot of glitches at the moment. Okay, so basically this is a staircase going all the way down to the corruption layer. Now obviously the nodes that I have along this stairway are down to the seed. Yeah, see, another little White House reference there, given that this is the corruption layer. So yes, in my implementation we do have a staircase that goes all the way down through all of the various layers, and we have a little gate that opens and closes access to the various layers. This will all be below the extent of the blueprint, so how you do this is going to be entirely up to you, but I thought I'd just show it to you in the original. See, we've got a door going off into the bedrock layer, fossil layer for harvesting. That's actually where we harvested most of the limestone for the bricks. And as you can see, I'm having more glitchiness, so I'm going to come out of this world, and we will call that a wrap. The blueprint will be on the Steam Workshop, as I say, fairly soon, within the next few days, and I will update the description box once it's in there. But I figured I would just make this video first, so that when I publish the thing, you've got a little tour to go around and help you with the wiring, and basically yeah, see how it is in the original format. And on that note, where are we? yeah, I will go and get ready for the second part of this stream, which is going to be a little bit of a let's play with my son, who is going to be joining us once he's finished his noodles, of course. And on that note, I'm going to say cue stream idle, because I'm still working at, well, I've got them, but oh yeah, I'll go with, yeah, cue outro. I'll see you in a few minutes.
It's your radio war.
If you hip and you hop, and if you hop and you hip. If you hip and you hop, and if you hop and you hip.